The other thing that I know about you is that you are an entrepreneur. You understand that being an attorney is one thing, and that's part of your job. But a solo practitioner, and you've actually done MCLEs on this, very informative MCLEs. Can you give pro tips to new attorneys who might be watching this, or new advocates, new people in the legal industry, about you starting your firm and how to maintain it, and any knowledge that you can impart about running your own practice, and the nuance between being an attorney but being an entrepreneur?
I would advise people who are looking to start their own business, whether it be a lawyer, a barbershop, a cleaners, whatever it is, make sure you start off with a good tax person and a good bookkeeper. Whatever you may have done before in your life, owning your own business and making sure that you are on top of your profit and loss, making sure you are running a payroll, making sure that making sure that your pay is being taxed. Sometimes when people start their own business, they see the flow of income coming in, and they don't understand that at the end of the year, you're going to be held accountable for what you earned and what you should be giving to both the state and the federal people. I was fortunate to have gotten a good CPA and a good bookkeeper. And then you've got to be diligent about it. We live in a capitalist society, and it's based on profit and loss. You have to make sure that you are developing the relationships with people that will have folks think of you the way that you are putting yourself out there, so that you can get referrals, so that you can have people who trust you. Law, like being a mechanic or being a doctor, your skill set will always hold you and give you an opportunity to have work. The way you treat people and the relationships you develop will allow you to be able to get people who want to send you to them. There's a lot of good barbers, but there's people who aren't signing up for them. The ones who have good relationships that people love to visit with, people are signing up and they're outside the door. Same thing with lawyers. And hopefully it's a natural thing for you, something that you've already developed. But if you haven't, then you have to understand and appreciate getting out in your community, meeting with people, helping folks understand what you're doing. And then when you get clients, treat them like you would treat yourself. Treat them like they're your kids, your uncle, your aunt. Return phone calls, return messages. You'd be surprised how many people who practice law don't have the simple etiquette of returning a phone call or text messages, or listening to people explain what problem they may have. You may not be able to help them, but you can refer them to someone who could help them. Just getting the books together, getting the CPA, getting the bookkeeper, and then being healthy and developing good, polite, healthy, professional relationships.
Thank you. That is great. And then let's go into more pro tips. Let's talk about pro tips in terms of new attorneys who are interested in doing the exact same kind of law that you're practicing, criminal defense. It's you have a focus, you have some expertise in sex crimes. What are some pro tips, do's and don'ts, things that you've learned looking back that you wish you knew?
Well, with criminal law, there's no substitute to experience. And for young folks, that's difficult. If you're not working in a public defender's office or in a prosecutor's office, then you're not likely to get a lot of trial experience starting off, because folks aren't looking to hire someone to try a murder case if they haven't had a DUI trial yet. So it takes a little while to develop the experience where you can then be able to market your trial skills. If you can start off in either one of those offices, that's great. If you can't, then you got to spend time in the courtroom. You got to shadow some of the people that have been in court. For the almost 30 years I've been practicing, I've had folks, when I was a prosecutor, come spend a week with me in trial, watching jury selection, opening statements, direct exam, cross-examination, understanding how the law is applied to a certain set of facts. From the defense side, I've had externs, internships, just people come in for a shadow day. I've had 12, 13-year-old kids just sit in the courtroom and understand the dynamics of what is taking place so they can conceptualize it and be able to look at it and it be tangible. Practicing law is one of those fields where you can go to college and learn everything you can be a good writer, you can be a good student, you go to law school and read every book and know how to brief and do research. But if you want to be a trial attorney, it's almost like sports. You got to get in the field. You got to get out there and get dirty. You got to know what it feels like to have your question objected to and the court sustain it. So to think that you're going to get some evidence in and you're not, what are you going to do next? You have to have that type of experience. And if you can watch people do it and learn from them and say, well, I'm not going to do that when I'm in trial because that's what happened, or see some positive things, then that is good too. I did a lot of that when I was starting my career, watching some of the trial attorneys that I thought were doing really great work on both sides.